Hello and welcome to Mark in the Park, the program from Urbana Park District, letting you know what's going on in your parks around Urbana. Urbana Park District, you belong here. I'm Mark Schultz and I'm joined by Kyle Mills, Athletics Supervisor at Urbana Park District. How are you today?
Great, thanks Mark.
And talk about, first of all, Urbana Park District Athletics. Well, what's it all about?
During the summer, it's all about getting out and playing baseball and softball and t-ball. We have a t-ball program for kindergarten through 7-year-olds, and we have girls softball offerings for 8 and under, 10 and under, and 12 and under. And we also have Pony League baseball. That's for 13 and 14-year-old boys.
And with all the travel teams, lots of travel teams around in the area, and high school teams and other clubs, where does Urbana Park District Athletics fall?
Well, our programs are designed more for kids that are starting to learn the game, developing their skills, starting to get the fundamentals, and they want to stay closer to home, not travel quite as much. Maybe their family can't afford quite as expensive. The travel programs can often be pretty expensive compared to our programs, and they do travel a little bit more, out and about a little bit more than we get to stay home and play local games against local teams here. And it's the same offerings, but
you don't have to travel.
You don't have to travel quite as much. The traveling part can become pretty expensive.
Not as many hotel overnights, right?
Right. Our program, and T-ball is a very introductory. It gets kids started into the realm of baseball and softball, and then Little League kind of takes over. Kiwanis Little League kind of takes over for a while for baseball, and they run the more rec side of baseball around here. But there's travel teams for all age groups all the way up, and you see that all the way through. But the Park District still offers for everybody. Make sure that everybody has a place to play. If they can't afford to do travel, they can come to us.
And also, we're talking about baseball a little bit, but there's also soccer and softball. For all the kids, you know, what total sports are offered?
Well, soccer is actually going on right now at the Park District. We have a kindergarten through 8th grade soccer program. We play with other park districts around and other rec departments around here, and a lot of our games are right here at home at Brookins. And it's, again, I mean, there is travel soccer around here too, but it's a recreation. They're learning the fundamentals, getting better. I mean, it's just as competitive in some ways as the travel programs, but it's just a starting point for a lot of kids. And as they get older, some decide to go on to travel, and some stay with us and play less travel games and stay at home and play with us.
And of course, the girls have softball, and it's offerings for boys and girls.
Correct. We have softball for 8 and under, 10 and under, and 12 and under at Urbana, and there's several softball organizations in town too. So it's just there's more. We make sure that we have an offering for everybody. If they can't afford more expensive program, they can come and play with us and do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And learn, get the skills.
And when the snow flies, there's a lot of winter and indoor sports offered as well.
Correct. We have basketball programs in January through March. We also have a preseason basketball program in November. We have indoor soccer as well at the gym at Brookins in both the fall and the winter. So we try to, basketball and soccer I think are our bigger programs at the Park District that are spread out in the winter and the fall.
And also, you have volleyball as well.
We do have adult volleyball.
Adult volleyball.
Yeah, we don't offer youth volleyball currently. We do have an open gym for adult volleyball and an adult volleyball league.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about affordability. We mentioned it earlier. You know, travel teams can become expensive. How much would you expect it to cost to have a child be a part of Urbana Park District Athletics?
I mean, it does kind of still depend on the program. Soccer and basketball, I think, are fairly reasonably priced, and baseball and softball, I mean, it does start to get a little bit more expensive. Our Pony League baseball league, for example, is about $77. If you would be going to play travel ball at 13 and 14, you would probably be paying $1,000 to go before you even win anywhere. Possibly before you even win anywhere. The uniforms, the practices, the coaching, everything that they do, they go to multiple tournaments. It becomes an expensive thing. Hopefully you're getting some travel teams that aren't that expensive. I mean, but I know that in general, some of them can cost that much before you even play very many actual tournaments.
$77 versus $1,000.
It's a pretty good deal. But officials are making our fees go up because it's hard to find officials these days, And the more demand that they have, the more money that they want too. So the more expensive the officials become, the more expensive even rec programming has to become, because we got to somehow figure out a way to pay the officials.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll get to umpires and referees in just a little bit, but and two, with the park district, there's no cuts. You're not cut from a team, and everybody gets a chance to play, right?
That's correct. That's a big thing. That's, I think, a big part of why a lot of people do want to come to the park district. They know that if they sign up for one of our programs, they're going to be on a team. They're going to get to play 6 to 8 games at least in all of the programs, and they'll have 2 practices a week in any sport that they do through us. So there's no cuts. You're right. I know that's a big thing with our youth basketball program. We have 7th and 8th grade kids. It's pretty competitive, and they always are wondering, am I going to get cut when I sign up for this team? No, we have 4 teams of 7th and 8th grade boys basketball. So if you want to sign up, we'll have more.
All right.
The more the merrier for any of the programs.
Very good. Kyle Mills is our guest today. He's the athletics supervisor for Urbana Park District, and we're glad he's here today. And we're talking about all the things at Urbana Park District and the affordability of it all. What do kids need to bring themselves when they sign up for a sport? Do they need their own cleats and gloves and sneakers and bats?
Yeah, well, for most programs, if you're talking about baseball outside, you're going to have a glove. If it's t-ball, you don't necessarily have to have cleats at that age, but as they get older, they'll probably have to have at least cleats, and the older and older they get, they're probably going to be required to get a bat eventually for themselves. We do provide for all of our teams. We'll have some bats and helmets for all the teams, but the kids have to have a glove at least in general. And if they want a lot of them want their own bat or own helmet, so a lot of that is on them. We'll have stuff for the team, but if they want their own bat or helmet, they can get their own. But glove is the most important thing. Bring your water, stay refreshed. And then in soccer, they have to have shin guards so they don't get kicked in the shins a lot. But we provide a uniform for all the teams, so they won't have to worry about buying a uniform in addition to their program fee, and that's actually not even true. In soccer and basketball, they do pay $16 for a jersey that if they stay in the program, they can re-wear that jersey until they outgrow it.
Well, that's not bad.
And the program itself is, for those programs, is in the $20 range instead of the $70 range. Okay,
and talking a little bit about some of the costs, is there financial help available?
There is. For any of our programs, we have if you need financial assistance, you can apply for our youth scholarship fund. I believe you can only do it 1 time a year, though, so anything that you know that you're going to do throughout the year, you need to apply for. It may be twice a year. I don't want to speak on that, because youth scholarships is very important for a lot of families. So that you can apply for it once or twice a year, I believe, and you just list any programs that you would need that your child might want to participate in, and then the park district will try to use some of our funds to reduce your fees for those programs. Sometimes the program will be completely waived. Sometimes it'll just be a portion of the fee that is waived to help get the kids into the programs a little bit cheaper. And we talked only about baseball price earlier, and we talked about it being $77, but soccer programs are $21 to $25, and basketball program is $37. So I just want to make sure that we didn't sound like all of our programs were $77 for you. So it's probably the most expensive one.
Yeah. So again, but compared to what you'd have to pay for other club teams, yeah. And now, who coaches these teams?
They are all volunteer coaches. We count on parents to coach, and it's better when we can get parents involved, and the more parents involved, the better. And then when their kids get older, they get better. And we have a lot of experienced coaches that come back. I see a lot of the older age groups being coached by more experienced coaches, but it's harder to get coaches in for some of these sports. So it's important to keep trying to recruit new coaches and keep trying to teach them how to teach the kids the fundamentals. So we just keep trying to find. It's a lot of parents, but we do have some students from the U of I and Parkland as well. But it's a lot of parents at this point.
And when you recruit these coaches, what do you tell them? Hey, just make sure the kids have fun, teach them the fundamentals.
Right. The most important parts of all of our program are that they're having fun. That's first and foremost. And that they're getting better and improving their skills. They're not just rolling around the ball. We do want them to learn the skills and get better and have fun, and learn sportsmanship is very important, and teamwork, getting along with other kids, and just working as a team to one goal is always important in any sport, in any level. So we try to focus on fun and getting better.
And remind the coaches they're not Mike Krzyzewski or Joe
Right,
Madden.
right.
So
coaches do have a code of conduct that they're supposed to follow too. So hopefully all of our coaches are focused on what I'm making the kids better and not making themselves the next great coach.
does if people want to coach, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call the Park District. My number is 255-8601 to call directly to Brookins, talk to me or Greg about volunteering for any of our sports. We're always looking for coaches. That would be the fastest way. You can also apply, I believe, through the Park District website, www.urbanaparks.org, or you can go to the Phyllis Rec Center at 505 West Stoughton and get a volunteer application as well.
And you make sure the volunteers are well vetted and know what they're doing.
Right. We have a coaches meeting before every sport, and we go through all the things, all the rules for the season and the expectations. And if they have any questions or need any further information or further help trying to get ready for the season, we try to do whatever we can.
And you mentioned earlier about officials. How, if somebody wants to umpire Little League or referee soccer, how does that go about?
We're always looking for officials. We do not train officials currently ourselves, but a lot of officials are certified already and looking for positions. It's hard to find officials currently, so if you know of any officials sending them our way for any sport, we're always looking for officials. You don't have to be certified. We do prefer certified officials for baseball and softball, but a lot of our soccer officials are not certified people. If you have good soccer skills and know the game really well, we'd love to have you try out and be an official for us. Same way with basketball. If you've done some basketball officiating before, even if you're not certified, we would give you a chance to do that for us too.
And when you say certified, you mean like have the Illinois High School Association license?
Through the IHSA, a lot of officials, they have a lot of officials for every sport. So, but even I think the IHSA is struggling to get officials these days because it's a hard job to be an official, and so it's hard to find them. So, and if you know anybody, and if you want to get certified yourself, this should go. And I mean, you don't have to be certified again to be a rec official. We'd love to have you either way, but we'll take certified people too.
And it could be a nice little moonlighting job or a little job out of college. You can have some pocket change, right?
And it's good pocket change these days. They pay pretty good for all officials, so it's a good job, I would think. To make some extra money, I'd like to do it.
Very good. Now, you talked a little bit about the sportsmanship and finding referees and umpires. And, we always see on YouTube the crazy parents and just ruining a youth game. What does Urbana Park, I don't think I've seen one from Urbana Park District, but other places, what does Urbana Park District do to instill into spectators and coaches and even the players that sportsmanship is a major component of Urbana Park District athletics?
Well, I mentioned that we do have the code of conduct for the coach earlier, but we also do have the same thing for the parents. It's called our parent promise. It goes through kind of that detailing, outlining that we're here to support all the kids. You shouldn't be booing or jeering either team if you're there for the game. I mean, cheering both teams, but don't jeer any of the kids. I mean, we want everybody to have a good experience. If they've got parents up there booing the other team every time they're doing something wrong or just acting out in craziness, that kind of helps us reinforce it. If we think that somebody's being out of line, we can use that parent promise that they've signed off on when they sign their kid up, or the coach's conduct. The kids as well sign off on a code of conduct when they sign up for a sport. Their parents probably sign off on it for them, but there's a code of conduct for the kids and a parent promise that they all have to sign off on before they register for any of our programs. Same way with adult sports. We have an adult sports code of conduct to kind of deter any behaviors that we might have with the adults that they might not be getting along in some of our sports, because we have a few adult recreational sports that are pretty competitive and pretty fun, but if somebody's not behaving well, it can be not fun for some teams. So
Sure. And you say don't heckle and jeer the other teams. Also, be nice to the officials too.
Right. It's tough. It outlines that. Be nice to everybody. Basically, you got to cheer. I don't know exactly what it says off the top of my head, but it's all about just everybody, you can't be negative to anybody, basically, out there.
Yeah. You know,
In a strong way.
You know, one thing that might, if ever you have a parent or a spectator that gets a little out of hand, just call time, put the face mask on him or her,
Right.
give them the whistle and say, okay, you call it now.
Right. That would work a lot.
Yes. You touched a little bit on adult recreational activities.
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about what offerings Urbana Park District has for adults who want to play a sport.
Yeah, we don't currently have a lot, actually, but you mentioned volleyball earlier. We do offer a spring and fall volleyball, and surprisingly, that's not our biggest sport. Our biggest sport for adults is co-rec kickball, which is really big in Urbana. We have 24 adult teams. Kickball? Yes.
The playground sport.
The playground sport.
The recess sport.
That's the one.
All
yes.
right.
We have 22 to 24 teams during the summer most years. It's all adults 15 and over. They play at Prairie Park and Canada Park here in Urbana, and we do it in the summer and the fall. And then we also, our other adult sport would be dodgeball, which is also more of a playground sport. We also offer that in the spring. It's getting ready to start right now, I believe.
And you got the big pink inflatable rubber kickball?
They're not the big.
Oh
no, for kickball,
for
yes,
kickball,
it is
yes,
the
yes.
big, yes. It's the big 10-inch red kickball. And slightly altered rules with we have a bunting line that teams are allowed to bunt, but the defenders can't go past the line before that, and it's got to be based on the kick. It's pretty much baseball aside from a slight bunting rule change, but the teams love it. I mean, if you go out on a Thursday night to any of our parks, it's really exciting to watch a bunch of adults having a great time playing kickball.
That's great. That's great. And again, those are adults can sign up through the Urbana Park District website?
Correct, yes. They sign up as a team. Actually, that's not for our adult sports, you cannot register online because we have to have a full team roster, so they can get the roster from us online, but I think that they have to go to the Phyllis Recreation Center to actually turn in the rosters.
All right. And we talked a little bit about code of conducts and and it sounds like the adults are having a lot of fun during their athletics. And is sportsmanship good at Urbana Park District events?
I think we have pretty good sportsmanship overall. Especially in the youth sports. I don't see anybody not getting along with anybody in our youth sports. I can't think of a time that we've ever had an issue. Adult sports, I mean, sometimes some of them get a little bit over the top competitive. That's maybe why we made our adult sports code of conduct. But yeah, it's for overall, I think everybody has a good time. If you go out there on any of those adult sport nights, everybody's having a good time. Everybody's there to get better and have fun, and nobody's going to win a trophy. Well, they may win a trophy in an adult sport, but the kids' sports we don't do trophies. So they're all there just to have fun.
You know, one thing I remember, and I've known as I referee high school sports, and you talk about the sportsmanship. The thing that I always gets instilled in me is what the kids want their parents to do.
Right.
The kids want their parents to show up, to cheer, and to say, good job at the end, or did you have fun?
Right.
The coaching from the stands, the arguing with the referees from the stands is absolutely embarrassing for the kids.
Yes, it can be.
I remember just one quarterback in the huddle in a JV game. He said his dad yelled from the stands, and he just said, "Be quiet, Dad," in the huddle. So for parents to remember, you're there for the kids.
Yeah, it's about the kids still.
And you're not there to blow off steam.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm glad to hear that Urbana Park District sportsmanship is really good.
I think so.
Thinking about some of the equipment that Urbana Park District has, you know, the kickballs, the fields, and all that. If anybody ever would want to say, you know, I'd like to donate a rack of basketballs or something like that, would they get in touch with you and you would direct them to the right place?
Yeah, if they wanted to donate equipment, yeah, that would be us as well at Brookins Gym. You could call me direct again at 255-8601 or email me at kamills@urbanaparks.org.
That's good, because sometimes that, you know, after the kids are grown and gone.
Right, we do get things from time to time. People give us whatever they have that they don't need.
Very good. So a lot of things that you can put your kids into, you can sign your kids up for. A lot of things adults can sign up for. Again, just to put a wrap on things, how people can get in touch with you or get in touch with anybody in the Park District if they want to have any more information about how to sign up, how to be an official, how to be a coach, or any other questions.
Well, depending on what your avenue, I mean, www.urbanaparks.org is our website. You can look up any of our programs, not just athletics programs, through there, and who might be the lead on it. For us directly at the park, or for us directly in athletics, it's Brookins Gym, which is at 1776 East Washington Street. And our direct number there is 255-8601, 217-255-8601. If you have any questions about any of our athletics programs, we'd be happy to answer them. And we didn't talk about camp at all. We do have summer camp coming up.
Tell us about summer camps.
We have a weekly summer camp for sports camp. It's just week by week. We start the first week of June, I believe, and they do a variety of different sports each week. We don't have a focus on one sport each week, so they're doing a variety of different sports or PE games each week. We go to the pool, the outdoor pool once a week and the indoor pool once a week, and then we'll do a field trip on Friday each week. And that lasts for 11 weeks and goes until August 18th, I believe. We also have nature camps and art camps as well through the Park District, so there's a variety of camps going on.
So those summer camps are every summer?
Every week, every summer, yeah.
That's great. Yep, and then urbanaparks.org, you can find out more about that.
Yes, it has all that information on there.
Kyle Mills, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
All right. Kyle Mills, Urbana Park District Athletics Supervisor, has been our guest today. And we thank you for joining us for this edition of Mark in the Park. And always remember, Urbana Park District, you belong here. I'm Mark Schultz. Thanks for joining us.